It's a cloudy morning in Johannesburg. Perfect weather for running. It's the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality, celebrating Women's Day, International Women's Day, just a few days ago. This is a symbolic event. The foundation's head, Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, was at pains to emphasize that at the current rate, gender equality will only be achieved on the African continent in over 100 years' time. And so, we must race to equality. And they've assembled a terrific arsenal of top runners to race, but also thousands, hundreds have heeded the call, converging on Marks Park here on the west of Johannesburg to run through the hilly terrain and race to equality. Fabulous lineup of top runners here, and even better prize money, reflecting the nature of the purse as we get some of the country's very best Olympians, world champions, SA record holders, and even more racing to equality. To talk to us a little bit more about that, alongside me I have Thabo Molete. Who are we looking out for this morning, Thabo?
What a glorious looking out for the likes of Sharonay Bosman. That is well, you know, if you know the Comrades Marathon, you know that she is up for running, and she's full of running. Today is perfect weather condition, and absolutely cannot wait to see the likes of Elroy Geland, South African 5,000 meter record holder.
Correct.
Is in the mix. Well, the man is a two-time Olympian, and last year also managed to finish in the Tokyo Olympics, and as just after that dreaded
the heat
London marathon.
Oh yes, where he was injured. Correct.
He was injured there so coming out from that one, it's going to be a good one to watch him actually back in action. So not the likes of Stephen Koka, the world record man in the 50 kilometers.
Yeah. So exactly, it's quite a great field. As you mentioned, Stephen Mkoka having run that world record last week in the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality. And if you're just tuning in, you'll be asking yourself, when is the race getting away? Just a couple of minutes before the start of the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Equality. 5, 10 and 21 kilometers being run through the streets of Johannesburg. Now, some of those names that Thabo mentions here, we'll be looking at the course and wondering what's happening. What kind of course are we likely to expect? Well, if you've ever run in Johannesburg, on the western side in particular, you'll know one thing. Hills, 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 and lots more hills. So don't worry too much about the time. This will be about someone who can triumph over the conditions and the distance. The good news is it doesn't look like we'll get over 20 degrees this morning Celsius. So the weather is fine. Lots of cloud cover to keep the sun away. Perfect conditions for running. It's a case of who can triumph over the hills. And speaking about the hills, let's not forget that we've got some men who are good at running these hills. The man from Lesotho, the man who's a sub 220 marathon performer at his best, Nkoka, who recently won the Pirates half marathon just a couple of weeks ago over similar terrain here, the Pirates Club, not too far from Marks Park, where the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality is taking place this morning. Thabo, you'll talk to us about some of the track stars here, because we do have, shall I call them your road warriors, running the half marathon. But I've noticed some guys who are known for their track who have lined up for the 10 kilometers. I see the young Maxime Chomoton.
Exciting.
Yeah, he's there in the 10 kilometer field. Yeah.
1,500 meter men. Incredible. You know what? For the first time, I'm actually excited about this. For the first time, mind you, these guys haven't run a straight course in such a long time. It has only been laps that guys have been running, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 kilometer lap. For the first time, it's the guys will be tearing each other up on the roads.
Exactly. And so some of those speedsters that you mentioned, the likes of Maxime, expect them to go out hard set the cat in amongst the pigeons early on in that race. So quite a few tracksters coming out, especially for the 10 kilometers.
Cherry Mutau, 3,000 meter record holder.
Yep.
Multiple record holder.
Correct.
Multiple SA champ in the 1,000. So it is very different when you come to the road. I know saw Glenrose Kava running yesterday in the AGN. And well, she's the rose of the road. On the road, she's absolutely incredible. She's another monster altogether. But yesterday in the 10,000 meters, she looked a bit struggling. But once she hit the road, it is just flat box, lights out running.
Yeah.
I cannot express to you how this race, the Motsepe Foundation 2022, absolute massive lineup. And what a day in prospect. And you spoke about Shaw Maton. You remember the dramatic 1005
at the SA Track and Field Championships last year, where there was tripping and people fell over the finish line. A dramatic day and a dramatic race in store. So they're off in the 21 kilometers. It is an out and back course. The 21 kilometers starting just a couple of minutes ago here at the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Quality. This is the race where we are expecting a bit of strategy as some of the best athletes go hammer and tongs over a hilly course with lots of prize money at stake. 21,000 Rand for the winning athlete who will come home first. And these are the names that you should look out for. Desmond Mokhobu, 3-time World Championship athlete, an Olympian, and a 2:09:13 performer at the marathon. He's also the owner of a 61:35 minute half marathon personal best set in Gqeberha, Nelson Mandela Bay, last year at the SA Half Marathon Championships. Who is Mokhobu going against? Oh, well, he's in pretty good form this year. Mokhobu having won the Discam Half Marathon in January, and he'll be up against Elroy Galant. Expect those two to fight it out. Tabo, you know Elroy, as you've mentioned, he is the SA record holder over 5,000 meter, having run that 13:04, 61 minute half marathon performer, African Championship silver medal over 5,000. But what kind of form is Elroy in at the moment after a tough run at the Olympic Games, coming up in around 2:16 in difficult conditions in the marathon? What kind of form is Elroy in at the moment?
Well, still pretty much early days for the guys to go out hard. Like you mentioned, it's going to be a very tactical race today. It's all going to be about the control, the composure. And taking you back to 2017 when I first saw Elroy Galant in the national championships. I think Reggie was there himself as well, one of the commentators on the guys' 10,000 meters. He ran on that night, he ran 10,000 meters, 25 laps around the track.
Yeah,
it's far different than running a 10 kilometer on the road. Elroy Galant, I remember who was talking. I can't remember whether it was yourself speaking or whether it was Alter Schroeder speaking, but with only 3 laps, Alter said these guys are going at a pedestrian pace. And immediately after that, Elroy Galant lost it, put the foot down, lapped the guys with about 3 laps to go. He was down and out, and in that championship he was taken down by Musiako, also one of the
Thabang
top
Musiako.
Thabang Musiako. With the last 400 meters, that tank was empty.
Yeah, because that's the only way Elroy Galant knows how to run on the track correctly. He knows how to run hard. He is a man who, of course, is a 28 low performer over 10 kilometers on the road. So it certainly has the pedigree, has the speed, and as Tabo says, is a man who only knows how to run one way, which is hard here. As you tuning in here, looking at the pictures of the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Equality, they are running through Marks Park and Greenside. Now, these are the western suburbs of Johannesburg, Emerentia, Marks Park, Greenside, and known for having 1 or 2 hills, but not quite as bad as if you go out west, Northcliff type way. So this is still manageable, and if the course plays along, then expect a time perhaps under 65 minutes or even 64 minutes if the guys run well. The 21 kilometer underway, and we will have pictures of the lead men shortly as we celebrate the Race to Quality. Remember, equal prize money for both men and women. 21,000 rand for the winning man, 21,000 rand for the winning woman. It's a nice payday and shows that the Motsepe Foundation, one of the largest philanthropic organizations on the continent, is serious when they talk about narrowing the gap, the gender equality gap.
So here we are. We almost got the guys up on screen, and then we can see who's having an early tussle in the Motsepe Foundation 2022. Well, it's a fairly cloudy day, overcast weather conditions, no signs of rain as of yet, but surely very soon the guys will be tearing each other apart. Well, it's going to be a very tactical race, as we mentioned already, that it's not going to be about times as we go through the ups and downs, out green side.
As they run past the Park View Golf Club now there. That is a particular spot of the route that is also enjoyed by the Spa Women's Grand Prix whenever it comes to Johannesburg. They often run along this route here past the Park View Golf Club, and I can tell you that is a flat section of the road. And as they come into focus there, you will see already a lead bunch developing as they begin to size each other up. A good place to do exactly that, because that is a flattish section of the route as they will come around, turning right now. And go to cross a major intersection. That intersection blocked off by the Johannesburg Metro Police, who of course have partnered the Motsepe Foundation and Athletics South Africa in bringing us this Motsepe Foundation race to equality. They will go over a slight bridge now here, where you see the lovely stonework, which is one of Johannesburg's older bridges, also taking in some of the sights of a world-class African city, and you will see that and be able to enjoy that. They'll come over a bridge, turn right, and head towards the hills on the western side of Johannesburg. Water points for refreshment stations, and as we mentioned, we're spotting right there Elroy Galant in that lead bunch. He is wearing the colors of Boxer Athletic Club, and that is the lead bunch. And there we have it, Elroy Galant, as we mentioned, Thabo Molete. He's there. They still look fairly comfortable at this early stage.
Very technical. These guys are just, when I spoke to him about the half marathon and or the marathon and what went wrong
in Tokyo.
Not in Tokyo. The one that he was running in, it was the London Marathon.
Oh yes, the London Marathon in 2020,
one.
where he was injured. Correct.
Yes. So he said it was fine. The first thing is you need to manage the first 21 days, because you will be perfectly fine in great condition up until you're not fine anymore. And then it catches you like right there, and then you're out. So they will be managing themselves to go through the first half of the race, and then from there it's then when they start feeling their bodies are ready to go to a next level competitive edge, that should see us having a great competition here at the Motsepe Foundation 2021 race to equality.
Correct. Let's just give you the vital statistics if you're tuning in for this live stream of the Motsepe Foundation's race to equality. Well, aside from the top runners, there are also social runners who are out here heeding the call of the race to equality, the race towards gender equality. In the 21 kilometer, which started just after 7 o'clock this morning, we have 727 runners as we watch the lead bunch coming around the corner. They are going up a slight incline now, so watch the cadence, watch the bunch as they come closer to the lead car, and you'll just watch the cadence, the turnover of the feet as they go up that hill.
Fast speed, rapid motion.
Exactly, fast speed, rapid motion. That's what they will do on the track, and that's what they'll be doing on the road. Right now, still a bunch, a lead bunch of about 10 or 15 athletes, so it's early days as we look towards the celebration of International Women's Day happening earlier this week as we race towards equality.
So still there in the hunt, your leading bunch, but don't be fooled. There is a small chasing pack. They're still fairly bunched. It looks almost like 10 guys there in the front pack. And well, it's all about those hills, how they manage those in the very early stages in order to put themselves in a striking position.
Correct. And in speaking about those hills, they just ran past a park on their right-hand side, the lead men in the 21 kilometer. And this takes in a similar route of the varsity Kudu's 15K. So at this stretch, it's fairly flat. They will come to an intersection, and that's where the hills begin. So at this stage, it is what we expected. Elroy Galant in the colors of boxer. To his right, Libinyankoka, Max Delete. He won the Pirate Half Marathon on this similar course. As the runners come behind him, we see David Manja, and behind David Manja was the face of Lucky Mohale, a former SA 10 kilometer and a half marathon champion. And David Manja there is a man who is raced quite a bit already in 2022, having performed already over the 5,000 meters. He ran the invitational 5,000 meter, which was out at the Boksburg Stadium, put on by Central Gauteng Athletics. They're running around 14:30 to David Manja for 5,000 meters. So already having done that, and then also went out to Palaborwa to run the PMC Family Road Race in the last weekend of February, where he managed to come inside the top 5. That race won by Desmond Mokhobu. So clearly David Manja, a man who is in decent enough form, and they are taking lead honors there. Manja, it looks like on the left, and then leading the bunch is Elroy Galant, and tucked in behind him, Libinyankoka, of course, what they used to call the Basotho Warriors, who would come down and dominate two oceans. Libinyankoka having run his marathon personal best of 2:12 in Bloemfontein. So he's a man who knows how to go the distance. He performs very well on hilly courses. So watch him well in the colors of Max Delete, sporting their new kit there. That's the red and white, the Max Delete. Many of you will remember those days gone by. Mr. Price, that was that team now, Max Delete.
Oh, the likes of Desmond Mokhobu is also here in the mix. It's quite exciting to see him back in action. And well, he's running in the colors of Insika Running Club. In the front, just trying to get all of these guys. Fiso Simu representing Hollywood. Well, Hollywood has been really drafting a lot of quality athletes and making a massive statement in South African middle and distance running.
Correct. They have recruited a number of top runners. They launched their elite athletes a couple of weeks ago down in Durban at the Kings Park Stadium. They have recruited a man who is a sub 61 minute half marathon performer. I'm talking about the man they call Laudzi. Colin Mulaudzi. He's now running for the Hollywood Bets Athletics Club.
Speaking about Colin, yesterday at the AGN once again, Colin Mulaudzi went up against Milton Kekana, and well, the silver medalist, South African 10,000 meter silver medalist, as well as
the World University Games, where he performed well, Milton Kekana.
Absolutely. And the man that was taking up the strides there was Regan Magwai.
Oh, yes.
Quite surprisingly. So, yes. Up and coming star, Regan Magwai. But those two took each other to the task in the 10,000 meters. Mulaudzi, still early in the season. After about 15 laps, just started cramping, and it just went south from there.
Okay, yeah, so clearly needs the mileage. And speaking about mileage, they will come down the hill. They are running through Westcliff, one of Johannesburg's oldest suburbs. On the right of screen, the left of the runners, you see those old stone walls. That's an area where what were called then the landlords, the mining bosses, used to live around this Westcliff area. It's the leafy northern, central to northern suburbs of Johannesburg, and this is they will hurtle downhill here because it is quite a steep decline as they'll come around the corner, around the bend, running down towards the Wits University, which will be in front of them. And there they are. It's still that lead bunch of 10 to 15 athletes. One athlete we have not managed to spot in this lead bunch, as Elroy Galant commands it, is Desmond Mokhobu, who we mentioned earlier on as being someone to watch. Perhaps he's seated quite comfortably there at the back. But it looks like Elroy putting in a bit of a surge as they go down this stretch there. As they say, they are now spinning out into single file. And now they will start to climb ever so slightly as they go to cross, if they continue on this path, the main Empire Road, which is one of the busy intersections here in Johannesburg. So this is just a very slight incline, and they will continue here. Definitely a surge there, Tabo.
Oh,
Elroy putting down the hammer.
Well, he effortlessly just got away from them. I think they were still looking at the road, and all of a sudden, as he went down, he just went together with it. Look at him, 10 meters almost.
Yeah, he's got a couple of meters on them. The man that we mentioned we hadn't seen is lying in fourth, Desmond Mokhobu. He is a foxy and wily performer. So watch it yet. He'll be sitting biding his time. We have not reached 10 kilometers yet, so it's still early days in this race to Motsepe. I beg your pardon, Motsepe Foundation race to equality. But ever so slightly again, another downhill, and you'll watch Elroy Galant press as it now looks to be the stage of the race where Galant is taking control of this 21 kilometer.
This is how we know him. We know him going out hard, and that's where he's going to try and break the guys. It's not the likes of Mokoka, where to get him and Precious Mashele will be taking each other, a bit of a surge and a fight back and
then
push.
Sit down.
Sit down. You know, he likes taking them on a fartlek.
Yeah.
Up and take it nice and easy. But now you see Elroy Galant is absolutely just bringing them up. And he does take his liquid at the moment. Who's there even behind him? Is it?
It's suspected maybe David Manja. They tucked in behind Elroy Galant in the colors of Marion Roberts. And then in third there is Desmond Mokhobu. Certainly a surge that Galant, the SA 5,000 meter record holder, threw in them. And he continues to do so now. As they went past the blue colors of the Waterfall Athletic Club, one of the newer but loved clubs here in Johannesburg, they started to climb. So now they'll be climbing up this hill all the way to Parktown. They will climb up this hill, and it is a long climb of about probably 1,200 meters. And this, as they say, will sort out the men from the boys.
Absolutely.
As we get around the 5 kilometer mark here in the Motsepe Foundation's race to equality.
So that bit of a surge has sent out a few warning signs, as we have only 5 gentlemen now in the leading pack. The rest of the guys have settled out, and I don't believe they're going to catch up to that pace unless if the uphills will bring them back into the game.
Correct, and he was certainly feeling them out. As you say, Thabo Molete, he's dropped some, and they're in single file, so it's just a lead bunch of 4. Who's in that lead bunch? You're tuning in, asking here as you tune into Athletics South Africa's webpage to watch this live stream of the Motsepe Foundation's race to equality. We're currently watching the men's 21 kilometer. Elroy Galant in the colors of boxer red. To his left in the white vest, the white singlet, is Desmond Mokhobu, tucked in slightly behind him. Desmond Mokhobu, an Olympian and world championship athlete. And then there in the dark behind them, someone in the colors of Marion Roberts. Suspect it may be David Manja there. So at this stage, looking like the main athletes we all expected to see are the ones that we are seeing. The climb continues here as they climb from the bottom of Westcliff up Parktown here. These are Johannesburg's central and oldest suburbs. There are houses here. They will be running past the house of Bruce Fordyce, which is just in that street. Bruce Fordyce, the 9-time Comrades Marathon champion. He lives in a home here which is over 100 years old and is a heritage home here in Johannesburg suburbs. And of course this event supported by the city of Joburg. So lovely to see them running through the leafy suburbs of Parktown, Westcliff, around old Johannesburg as it's called. And where that marshal is standing with the red flag, if you turn in there, you go to Bruce Fordyce's house. It means they've got probably another 400-500 meters until they crest the top of this hill. So still quite a bit of work to be done there.
One athlete I haven't seen today is the Cape Town Marathon winner, Peter Motsepe.
Yes.
He's, not there in that front pack. Could it be that he's not entered, or?
Well, we'll have to see. Peter Motsepe, as you mentioned, Thabo, is a veteran athlete. He turns 41 this year.
Goodness.
So expect him to be maybe slightly behind. He did run just bang on 30 minutes at the end of, I beg your pardon, in the middle of last year at the SA 10 kilometer championships. Imagine this 40-year-old man runs 30 minutes and 8 seconds for 10 kilometer. So certainly a man who's in decent shape, and was also at the Discam Half Marathon, finished as the first veteran, which was early this year, just outside the top 10. So he is fit, but I don't think he can go with these spring chickens here.
Not the 21. I think he only starts kicking in after 21 kilometers.
Correct.
That's why he's one of the top marathon runners. Remember when they had during COVID-19, when the Cape Town Marathon was split up through
Potch,
Cape
and Pretoria.
Motsepe was running in Potchefstroom. Boy, oh boy, it was a lot of twists and turns, and like these yellow pacey thingies on the road.
Yeah,
they had to go through those dips and ups through our campus. But Motsepe was the overall winner, regardless of altitude, regardless of where it was ran.
Yeah, so he beat the guys who were running in Cape Town.
Absolutely, he beat them on time. He beat them after the times were adjusted. Absolutely incredible. So, like we said, after 21 kilometers, that's when the veteran starts kicking in.
Correct. They say he heats up like an Oshkosh and lorry. Wow, futumala lata. Push. As we see the lead men now, they just ran past the Premier Soccer League's offices there. It means they're on Jan Smarts. They turned left, and now they're headed towards what was the old Johannesburg College of Education. This is a fairly flat section of the race. They'll be running past the old Mike's Kitchen. Now, some of you who are old enough to remember having your birthday at Mike's Kitchen in 1980 what or 1990 what. Hale kwa.
Hale.
That's where they'll be coming up, and that will be on their left. And that lead bunch is still the one. It's a very slight incline, and this is a hilly section. That's why you see the bunch now coalescing again, and it's now 6 again. And it's Elroy Galant. It might be Ian Slinger, I'm not sure, next to him. And
one
then
of the youngsters. Well, it's his face. Of course, it's him with the glasses. You can see the resemblance there between the guys. Ian Sillinger, 10,000 meter guy there from Potchefstroom. So you can see the Potchefstroomers are absolutely showing the guys waar daar die wortels begrawe.
Waar die wortels begrawe. Dankie my man. So Ian likely to do some pacing for Elroy Galant, because we know him more, as you say, as a 10,000 meter man. Is it a bit of strategy we're watching here, Thabo, in terms of maybe Ian taking it out hard for the first half of the race, allowing Elroy to come through and win it?
Yeah, absolutely. He's talking about Ian, he's the under 18 SA champ in the 10,000 meters, but that only came through once he started training together with Elroy Galant. Before that, he was shaping here and then after that, I think the likes of the junior guys, the senior guys, are absolutely doing an incredible job in bringing up the youngsters. And spoke to one of the seniors on the track, is the silver medalist Commonwealth Games, is the man Enrico Brainkies, when I asked him about the likes of Slesipo Dambile and how he features. He said once they are on that track, there's no seniors and juniors, because those juniors don't have any respect for times. They just run.
Exactly. And the man he's talking about there, Ian, is a 29:02 performer over 10 kilometers on the road, and he did that at the SA 10 kilometer championships last year. We're watching the lead bunch in the men's 21 kilometer, and now the man starts to come to the fore. We mentioned him earlier on. Yo, he's running in the front there, wearing the colors of Max Elite. He knows these areas well. They're running downhill now, as they look to run towards the bottom of Empire Road. This is a fast section running past the Roos Park here in Johannesburg on their left. They will be running downhill for about 300 to 400 meters, and this is where the race will really pick up. And we're seeing that bunch now: Libinyankoka, Elroy Galant, Desmond Mogobu, and Ian Sillinger, as well as I think David Manja is still in there, all running together, and it looks like the winner will come from this bunch. But there's a lone chaser there at the back who's running in what we call no man's land. Painful place to run.
Go ahead, Mosotho. Bare Mosotho, bare Ujapere.
Hey, wa he mona batla o shapa batho ba ha ka ba bitse bo Mojapere. Ke ba lwanela le nna.
A ke re ka Sotho bare Mosotho o jahapere. So ba ile rona batswana ha re utlwisisi ka bere Mosotho o japere. O jahapere. So ke o Mosotho he o jahapere in this encounter of the Motsepe Foundation 2022.
Correct. Ojahapere, as he said, he chases the horse, yes, he hunts the horse, and that's what he's doing here. Is Libinyankoka. Now they are climbing. Now there was a fast downhill section. They will climb towards Constitutional Hill, which they will pass on their left, where the Johannesburg Metro Police are currently stationed. This is the climb which will allow them to pull back into the bunch, as we see happening at the moment. And as this course, you will see climbs, and then they will descend.
Yes.
They will climb and then they will descend. When they descend, you will see the pace increase, but the climbs, some of them in this area of Johannesburg, quite steep. So it will be sapping the energy of the runners.
Sun as well. The sun is coming out and it's peeking through the clouds, and that's when it's at its most dangerous. So let's see if these guys will maintain their form as they mitigate through the ups and downs and power to, well, ultimately we're going to have a sprint finish. Either it will be the guys who will sort each other out with the last 5 kilometers. That's when they'll start building it up and chasing up the tempo and the intensity. But that's when it will be decided who wants to remain and who is ready to fight.
Who is ready to fight? Who is ready to fight for 21,000 Rand as we race to equality thanks to the Motsepe Foundation, one of the largest philanthropic organizations on the African continent. They have brought this race to us here as the foundation's head, Dr. Precious Motsepe Moloi, emphasized that we must race to equality because at the current rate, gender equality will take more than 100 years to achieve here on the African continent. 122 years exactly, Tabo. And so we have men running for 21,000 Rand and women as well running for 21,000 Rand. We'll keep you updated on the women's race unfolding behind this lead bunch in just a short while, where the woman to watch, Neheng Khatala, is the one. She recently ran the PMC Family Road Race 21 kilometer, winning by the yawning margin of 10 minutes there. That was out in Phalaborwa, Limpopo, Kwanana. And she's back here to run another 21 kilometer, having performed well over 10 kilometers last year, and of course representing Lesotho in the marathon at Tokyo 2021, where she and Gerda Steyn worked ever well together. Neheng finishing inside the top 20. And training there in KZN. So now they'll be running downhill here. They'll be running downhill as they head towards Braamfontein, and they'll be running past the old Johannesburg Civic Center. As we mentioned, climbs, descents, climbs, descents, and this is what will sap them of energy and perhaps favor some of those who have got a little bit more of mileage in their legs, who have done their hill work. Let's talk about their training. Well, if you watch that lead bunch, we've got Elroy Galant. He trains out in Potch. Potch is still over 1,300 meters above sea level, so fairly decent altitude. But these sort of hills,
sure,
as you saw them fly there, Tabo, will be suited to someone like Libinyankoka, but also Desmond Mogobu. In this area here is where Desmond Mogobu and his training partners, Precious Mashele, Maxime Chamaton, and others, trained by Hendrik Ramala, do their hill work. Every December they will come to these hills around this part of Johannesburg by the SABC head office there in Auckland Park and do a kilometer rep. It's a climb that will put hair on your chest, and they will do 8 to 10 reps of those. So he's a man who did his hill work in December. As a result, was fit in January, having won the Discam half marathon. They're going past now the older Liberty head offices, which means that they soon shall begin to turn right and head back on Jan Smuts Avenue.
Oh, they came flying out of that bend and almost uncontrollable as they came around there. It looks like these guys want here and there. They want to really have a go at the downhills where they can surely put a bit of a lead and just make sure the guys are working a bit hard. You know, that hard work just to get there, and then all of a sudden you have to work hard again to get there. It means you're chasing the whole time, consistently so.
They're hurtling downhill. They're passing the Catholic Church here in Braamfontein, one of the biggest Catholic churches here in the city of Johannesburg. They just ran past the Wits University as well. Of course, Varsity Kudus and Wits University having boasted a number of fabulous runners over the years, including Bruce Fordyce himself, having run his first comrades in the colours of Varsity Kudus. And let's not forget the great Mark Blaikies, who eventually went overseas and won the World Championships gold medal back in the early 90s in the colours of the US, and he was running in Wits University colours back those days. A man from Coronationville, just here on the west of Johannesburg. They'll be going over the Mandela Bridge now, and looks like we have a race on our hands here as they race for 21,000 Rand.
Well, one man has since been dropped, 21,000 Rand. A total, well, just for the elite race, total of 65,000 Rand for the men's elite race. Then comes the 5,000 for the H or the H groups. It's a massive, well, it's loaded as far as this particular race is loaded as we go over the iconic Nelson Mandela Bridge here in Johannesburg. Welcome to Ekoli, Gauteng Maboneng.
Welcome to Egoli, Gauteng Maboneng. Going over the Nelson Mandela Bridge means that they are going over the train station of the old Park Station. That's the Park Station, and that bridge goes over many of the trains. This is a fast section of the route because they will come flying down, and at this stage they are about 35 minutes into the race. It also means that the 10 kilometer has started, and we're past halfway as well here in the men's 21 kilometer. If you're tuning in wondering what's happening with the ladies race here at the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Equality, well, that's unfolding behind us, where we have Neheng Khatala of Lesotho, and we also have Shelmith Miruki of Kenya. She was in the country for last weekend's Nedbank Runified Breaking Barriers 50 kilometer ultra marathon, where she finished second there in a time of 3:08, and she's here to run the 21 kilometer. I think it will be between her and Neheng Khatala out there running this 21.
What's Helene McLean gonna do? The 8-time Comrades Marathon champion.
Yeah, Yolandi McLean, definitely someone to watch, but not sure about the speed that Yolandi may have when it comes to keeping up with Neheng Khatala and the likes of Shelmith Miruki.
The goats will surely have a tough task or a tough ask here in the Motsepe Foundation 2021 or 2022 21 kilometer race, as we see the pace. Well, the guys are dropping like flies at the moment. There's only a pack of 4. It looks like Salinger is still sitting there in third or in fourth.
Yeah, in fourth.
Well, is he going to try and go together with him?
Well, we'll have to
Might be a massive surprise if he manages to pull that one off.
But it's the men that we mentioned here that are fighting it out for 21,000 Rand. We expected that the SA 5,000 meter record holder Elroy Galant would be here. He is here in the colors of Boxer. We expected that Olympian and 209 marathon performer Desmond Mokhobu would be here in the colors of Ntiga. He is here. David Manja is there in the colors of Marion Roberts, looking strong, a man who's already run 14:30 for 5,000 meters in 2022. He did that in February And the young man that Tabo likes, Favor, says we could see a surprise here as he tries for the 21,000 rand. Ian Sellinger, the man from Poch, who is out here running with his teammate and training partner Elroy Galant. It's down to 4. Who is going to take it?
Well, this is where it gets really entertaining. This is where the crux of this meet is about to unfold, because right now the race has been sifted out. Told you, through halfway of the race, that's when either the body tells you, I can't, I me, or you start going with them, and then you start feeling like we can really fly, as you see the guys having swift and rapid motions as they go down that hill. Slight incline, but they are going swiftly through it, and it's 4 guys. Looks like the man in third will be ran out of it. It looks in control, but it might just be a way out of it.
They're running through an industrial area of Johannesburg as we head towards Fordsburg, which was the history comes from it being the Indian Quarter, as it were. There, a fabulous area for materials and all sorts of wares that you could buy here at the right here in Fordsburg at the Oriental Plaza. So that will be on their left. If they turn left on that street, that will be down to the Oriental Plaza. So they're running through Fordsburg and will be coming round the back of Marks Park, the south, shall I say, and then headed north back towards Marks Park. It's the Motsepe Foundation's race to equality, and it's down to 4 here in the men's race, really stepping it up. You're tuning in, asking yourself, what time is it? Well, they got away just after 7 o'clock, meaning that we're about 40 minutes here into the race, and they are past halfway now. They should be looking to hit the 12-kilometer mark, and they should be hitting about the 13-kilometer mark. So we are on track, it looks like, at this stage for somewhere around a 65-minute finish, as these 4 men, the winner will come from here.
65 is not going to be a bad time at all, since started off it being a tactical race where they were just sizing each other up and sifting each other up until Mokhobu and Galant just decided, guys, let's get on to business. That is business time at the Motsepe Foundation 2022. 21 kilometers, the lead. Elite men, they're sifting each other out. Well, they are going pound for pound, stride for stride. Yes, this is where the men will be sifted from the boys.
And it's those 4. David Manja running on the inside, it looks like they're in the colors of Murray and Roberts. And he's pressing it forward. So in the last 3 kilometers in particular, the man that looks to have been dropped to someone we expected to be there and thereabout is Lebenyankoka. The man from Lesotho, of course, performs ever so well at the Two Oceans Ultra Marathon, 56 kilometers, and recently won a half marathon over similarly hilly terrain. That's the MediHelp Pirates half marathon, and he's gone from this bunch. So these 4 is where the winner will come from. These 4 are the class performers. These 4 include Olympians and World Championship athletes. These 4 are 61-minute half marathon performers in Galant and Mokhobu. These 4 are the men in form, and the winner will come from here as Mokhobu now puts in a slight surge coming uphill, looks back behind him. Barke munna wa lefahla, munna wa Limpopo. Desmond Mokhobu, munna wa Barana. And what he likes to do whenever he performs well, Tabo, he just brushes that lefahla.
What is happening here? That surge has just made a bit of a shuffle as the 2 Potchefstroomers are left behind in awe. But it is still early days. This race is going to be a mouth-watering one as we're close to Ellis Park.
As we come round here, we're headed towards the older Johannesburg Cemetery, not too far from Ellis Park Tower. From Potchefstroom, Ellis Park on the eastern side of the city. We are here on the west, and exciting stuff here, as you mentioned. It's heating up because Mokhobu just hit a surge, and he's taken with him David Manja. But Elroy Galant is not letting that gap close. He's fighting back and he's dragging his teammate with him as they race for 21,000 Rand in cash. Definitely a surge here, a noticeable surge as Mokhobu looks over his shoulder. Time and again, he's taking Manja with him, but Elroy Galant, is he dropping off?
But that's a sign of distress. Once a guy starts looking behind, you see, he knows he put in a bit of energy, and now he has to look, how much damage have I done? Did I cause enough damage to put the guys to bed, or are they still not going away? That could mean that will be a distress sign. As soon as they're not going away, he might go into a panic, and then it might be all over. But it is still, like I said, early days. These guys are here. It's 4 guys, but one can only take 21 big ones home.
21 big ones, a lot to run for here in the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. Desmond Mokhobu keeps looking over his shoulder. Is he tiring, or is it his gait? Is it his style? He recently won the PMC Family Road Race 21 kilometer, where he employed a similar tactic. On the day, he bested Tabang Musiako. On the day, he bested Namakwe Nkhasi.
Wow.
On the day, he bested the fabulous young talent Mbuleli Matanga. And he used the same tactic of looking over his shoulder, a different way of doing it. But as you say, Tabo, it looks like early days, because we're just about approaching the 15-kilometer mark as we head towards the 45-minute mark. And Elroy Galant has now fought back. And it looks like that little bit of a gap that Mokhobu had begun to enjoy, taking David Manja of Myri and Roberts with him, is not the case. Elroy Galant and
It's not going to be easy. This is not going to be easy. It's a game of tactics. Maybe looking behind his shoulder, saying, maybe I'm tiring. Try and have a crack at it. And that surge...
Saying, come with me.
Hurrying. So that bit of a surge causes just a bit of a distress, maybe alarms. But at the end of the day, it is going to go to who wants it the most. It's fairly early days, and this meet is also being used as the CGA championships,
to select the CGA half marathon team, and those in the CGA colors would be Manja and Mokhobu, whilst the other 2 gentlemen here are Northwest athletes, so they would not count for CGA prizes. But this one is about the money. This one is about 21,000 Rand, and neither man giving an inch here.
Well, they've reeled them in. They've put them back into the seat like, come here, boys, sit down. Let's have a feast on this one. At the end of this, it's going to be a foot chase. 21 big ones is up for grabs.
21 big ones up for grabs, and as Thabo Molete mentions, looks like we could have a sprint finish. It is unfolding to be an exciting race here as they come back towards Marks Park. The sun clearing, as the sun peeking out as the clouds clear here over Western Johannesburg, and expecting a fabulous finish to what has been an exciting 2022 Motsepe Foundation 21 kilometer in the men's race. In the women's race, that's happening behind us here. They're also running for 21,000 Rand, and that's Neheng Khatala of Lesotho, as well as Shelmuth Miruki of Kenya. Expect those 2 to finish close in the top 3. So these 4, that's where the money will come from.
Yes, please.
As they now turn left and head towards, back towards the Marks Park. They will run past Melville and the University of Johannesburg. They just ran past the University of the Witwatersrand, Wits University, about a kilometer ago, and they are approaching now the 16 kilometer mark. So it looks like the expected time is somewhere around the 64, perhaps 65 minute mark. It's turning out to be an exciting race here. Marian Roberts, ASA Athletics Club, Ntsiga, as well as the Potch Track Club. That's where today's winner will come from.
Well, Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. Well, we started off early this morning at 7 o'clock with the 21 kilometers that is currently on your screen. The 10 kilometers has since gone away, and the very final one, the fun run 5 kilometers also just at 8:15 just got on the way. So lots of action here. It's going to be riveting stuff closer to the end of this as we are reaching the business end and not anyone letting off an inch. These guys are up for the task. 4 gentlemen, 4 that will see. Well, it's only about pressure. It's only about relentless power, strength, energy, endurance, and tenacity. Who will want it the most?
Who will want it the most? The man Desmond Mokgobu and David Manja will know that they do not want to get into a sprint finish against Elroy Galant.
Oh, no.
No man wants to get into a sprint finish against a man with a pedigree of Elroy Galant. Elroy Galant, 147 over 800 meters. Elroy Galant is a man who is a 28 early performer over 10 kilometers on the road. And not forgetting 13:04 over 5,000 meters. They will know that a sprint finish is to their detriment, which is why the two are pushing it on. They call this the high rate race. It is the race between Tedasi and Bekele that you saw in the 10,000 meters a decade ago. The one knowing that he has to outlast, the other one knowing that he must outsprint. A bit of confusion at the water table.
Now that's teamwork. You can see Galant went in, grabbed 2 and gave 1 to his teammate, because otherwise if you don't get that liquid up, oh boy, it might count detrimental at the end of the race course once they, well, this should be the second last water for them.
Correct. We should be seeing the second last water table, and the question here, Thabo, is in missing that water table, it seemed to have got under Mokgobu's skin there. We saw him remonstrating, pointing at some of the officials, so perhaps unhappy with what transpired there. Do you think that affects him now, or is he back into his running?
Well, so with Ineos Kipchoge, how he times his fluid intake, and remember with the marathon, he took the guys out for a task and went to the water table as he knew that he might break them there. Fluked the device as if he's going to the water. Everyone followed him. Once they went for the water, he stepped on the pace and he broke them into pieces.
And that's exactly what Desmond Mokgobu is doing now. As you watch the shot here going past the residences of the University of Johannesburg, a noticeable surge coming out of that water table as Mokgobu and Manja take it, leaving the Potchefstroom Mana behind there in Elroy Galant and Ian Sellinger. It's a definite break, Mokgobu and Manja going at it, but is it big enough? We know that Elroy Galant is a man who has the marathon strength and the track speed, so it's definitely not over yet.
Well, Ian Sillinger, a surprise package in this one. They call him Slinger in Potchefstroom. Ian Slinger. It's Willie Slinger to the front. There are lots to do here. It looks like it's one single file, so while the guys were feasting on the water, the two guys started a surge, and that could be a decisive move, a well-devised one to know that the game plan, we've seen it in a couple of marathons, that the guys go on a bit of a surge once the other guys goes and feasts on the water.
It's not too far from the finish now as we watch the latter stages, the business end of the 2022 Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. Desmond Mokgobu taking the lead here. Thabo Molete, is this the decisive move?
Yeah, indeed. We can see that he's dropped not only the two guys from Potchefstroom, but the man from Lesotho is also since seemed to have gone away out of this one.
Desmond Mokgobu takes the lead. They'll be running downhill now towards Melville. He keeps looking over his shoulder, and that is his style. That's what he always does. It's sometimes perhaps deceiving because you will think he is tiring. There'll be a slight climb now as Mokgobu will be running now a little bit uphill. When they get to the top of this hill, Thabo Molete, they will be flying downhill. There'll be a long downhill section, and so that downhill section would be an opportunity for the speedster Elroy Galant to close the gap. Desmond Mokgobu has taken his heart in his hands and says, I want a 21,000 rand. This would be his second 21,000 rand victory in a matter of 3 weeks, because he won the PMC Family Road Race out in Palabora, which offered the same prize money just 3 weeks ago. is this the move where we see the winner?
Well, indeed, he waited for that water, and it looked like it was a confusion, but it was all perfectly planned, as he is now up 15 meters from the chasing pack. There is one man who has risen up his hand here at the race to equality. 21 kilometers, Motsepe Foundation race, while bringing us all to an equality, speaking about gender equality, bringing us through our diversities in South Africa. The Motsepe Foundation has got a clear vision together with Athletics South Africa, and today here at Marks Park and at Johannesburg, at the heart of Johannesburg, giving us a run through the cities after such a long time, after COVID-19. Finally we can run the streets again.
Finally, we can run the streets again. Finally, we can fly the streets again. And that's what Desmond Mokhobu is doing. 10 minutes of serious running left as we approach the end of the men's 21 kilometer in the Motsepe Foundation race to equality. They're running through the streets of Melville, one of Johannesburg's most vibrant and loved suburbs. And what's happening now is that lead that Mokhobu enjoyed as they ran downhill being eaten into slightly. As Elroy Galant and Ian Slinger decide that no, we can't let this man go. They are trying to mount a chase, but is it enough? Is it too late? David Manja looks to have settled for fourth. So, will Mokhobu win it, or is there still fight left in Elroy Galant?
Well, Musibori, you called it that he doesn't want to get into a tussle of a sprint together with the South African 5,000 meter record holder, and it looks like it's going to get down to that, because that lead of 15 meters has since come down to about 7.5, and this could be a very, very late surge at the end of this race. About 3.5 kilometers remaining.
Correct. It's a fight, a battle of speed against strength. Mokhobu hoping to outlast as Galant hopes to hang on and outsprint at the end. Working with his teammates, they are slowly closing that gap that Mokhobu has. Mokhobu, of course, coached by the very famous Hendrik Ramala out here at Zoo Lake. Ramala knows what it's like to lead a race and fight for it right till the very end. Who can forget that amazing battle against Paul Turgat, the 2005 New York Marathon, where they went hammer and tongs and fought right until the finish line, with Ramala finishing second to the great legendary Paul Turgat falling over the line. Will we see it again? I think we might, Thabo Molete, because Elroy Galant and Ian Slinger have worked hard through the streets of Melville. They have closed that gap on Desmond Mokhobu, who is now also running alone, so it's a little bit more difficult when you're out there on your own.
It's more difficult because he's the one that has to be the pace setter. He's got to be the trailblazer, but the guys have since got in there. And Sillinger on track, better track record. And Galant speeds there. We've seen him a couple of times going up against Stephen Mokoka. I remember about 3 years ago, Mokoka, once they were going in the 10,000 meters, whipped out a 600 meter sprint in the 10,000 meters. So can Galant produce something like that? So once they hit into Marks Park, it is going to be other guys will be tearing each other apart right there on the turf, or is it another surge, another gap?
It's another surge, Mr. Molete. It's another surge, Mr. Molete. Desmond Mokhobu in the colors of Nziga. Desmond Mokhobu has already enjoyed victory in 2022, having won the Discam Half Marathon, having won the PMC Family Road Race. He's turning left and headed towards Marks Park. He can see the stadium in sight, but Elroy Galant has not given up chase yet. He's chasing him down, knowing that if they can get into the stadium together, Marks Park together, then they can probably have a chance of winning the race.
Charmaton wins the 10 kilometer race Absolutely incredible, as you saw there on site. The Charmaton was the man that took the guys there. The Motsepe Foundation 10-kilometer champion, the 1,500 meter specialist, the man hailing from the UJ University, is the champion here at the Motsepe Foundation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the intensity is rising. It is the 21-kilometer race. Well, is it the man with Mpandlani that has put the hammer down? Is he going to put the guys to the sword as we enter the final part of this encounter, the business end? The race is on. Look at him go. He is flying. He is gliding as he's tearing them apart. Galant seeming to go away. Who's going to stick with him?
Exciting stuff here. Desmond Mokhobu is leading. His teammate from the Zoo Lake Training Group having won the 10-kilometer. And that 10-kilometer Maxim Charmaton winner has bested a quality field. That field including Sbusiso Nzima, Kabelo Sibuko, as well as Namakwen Khasi. They are all there in the top 5. And the young man Leto Matthews coming out from Klerksdorp.
And a blunder there by the guys handing out the water. Well, they were all up in his face, and that has put them back about 5 strides within striking distance. They were out of it, and just that slight mistake. You can see they are almost there within touching distance.
They are there, and he is climbing through Melville now, the back streets of Melville. They will be soon headed towards Emerentia, as about 2 kilometers are left in this race to Motsepe, Motsepe Foundation race to equality. So this is now the decisive moment. This is where Desmond Mokhobu will forget about the water that wasn't given, about the surge that was almost closed down. This is where Mokhobu will know that 21,000 Rand is at stake. If he can run hard for the next 10 minutes, then 21,000 Rand is his. He will know that he does not want to get into a sprint finish with Elroy Galant, who is behind him. Elroy Galant will know that he must get close. He must get within striking distance. And so Elroy Galant and Ian Slinger are trying to chase down.
I think it's over.
Is it over?
I think he's gone. I think he's putting distance between himself and Galant together with Ian Sillinger, as we see some of the fun runners in the 5 kilometers, as well as the guys in the 10 kilometers that has since gone. Mokhobu is still looking in behind to see how far of or how big of a lead he's put in between himself and the rest of the guys, putting a lot of distance, a lot of daylight, and he's absolutely just hammering it and going pound for pound. He's running a lone race. He is testing himself, going to the next limit, next level running. Galant seems to be out of this one. Sillinger will be short on his heels, but it's all gonna be about this man in the front, while showing the guys how the senior men are running in the 21-kilometer race.
Desmond Mokhobu now going past some of the 10-kilometer runners. Do not be deceived, I beg your pardon. Those are not in his race. Mokhobu running 21 kilometer, and he's running past some of the finishers in the 10 kilometer, meaning that he is close now to entering the Marks Park Stadium. Some news from that 10 kilometer, which was just over. First veteran there being Jonas Machele, the man who ran inside the world record last year at the Nedbank Runified, a 50 kilometer breaking barriers. It's over. It looks like. Is it over?
It's gone. He's home. He's clear. He's out of the woods, and he's feeling it. You can see with the intensity that he's running at. He is absolutely just gutting them. He's burying them at the moment. 21 kilometers, while your champion, 21 big ones, is about to be in his palm right here, right now. This is his moment. His name is Mokhobu. He's got, the finish is right inside, as we see some of the female runners there in the 10-kilometer runners race as well. Here we go. A lot of the guys coming in. The 10 kilometers is done. We are fast approaching the finish of the men men's 21 kilometer race with Mokgobu in the lead. Hendrik, is out of it, and as well as the man Elroy Galant, who's currently in second, together with Ian Sillinger.
Exciting stuff here in the 2022 Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. And the man that is running there in the best of ASA Athletics Club is Desmond Mokgobu there at the back of your picture. He's passing some of the 10-kilometer finishers, meaning that he's within just a couple of kilometers of the finish. He looks to have bested Elroy Galant. He looks to have beaten Ian Slinger. He looks to have done better than David Manja. They have destroyed Lebinyan Koka. This is a man who won the PMC Family Road Race 21 kilometer a couple of weeks ago. This is a man who won the Discam Half Marathon in January. This is a man who won several races, including the Beipa Marathon out in Japan a couple of years ago. Desmond Mokgobu, 209 performer at the marathon, and in 2022 acquitting himself very well over the half marathon distance.
So cometh the hour, cometh the athletes. Mokgobu in the front in a commanding position. Wow, what a well executed race. He kept on looking in behind. He kept on giving wave after wave, going through the downs and going through the ups and taking them throughout the streets of Jozi. And he will remain and he will resound the king of Jozi at the Motsepe Foundation 2021 Race to Equality. Wow, incredible to see.
So the 10 kilometer and the ladies just wrapping up. It looks like it's been Decisive Sosibo, who is coached by the legendary Michael Seme Prasponch out in Soweto. Kaslamakasi, she has won the 10 kilometer in the ladies, and coming in second is Rutendo Nyahora, coming in there in second in the colors of Excel. Rutendo Nyahora, an Olympian for Zimbabwe at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio, running the marathon there. But it's a 21 kilometer where our eyes are focused now, and the question is, can Desmond Mokgobu hang on for the last mile? Can Desmond Mokgobu ensure that Elroy Galant doesn't catch him? Elroy Galant working hard with his teammate out from Potchefstroom, Ian Sillinger, and they worked hard to try and catch him, but it was not to be, it seems, as Desmond Mokgobu now races in towards the finish line of the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 21 kilometer. He's coming into the stadium. Desmond Mokgobu not far now as the crowd gathers to welcome their champion for the 2022 Race to Equality 21 kilometer. The crowd gathers to say well done to Munna Walfas.
What a wonderful prospect here, brought to you together here by the Motsepe Foundation in association with Athletics South Africa, finally having ties with friends and partners, making these sorts of races possible for all the athletes, as we see some of the 10-kilometer races coming into the house. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your winner, your champion, as the finish line is inside. We are waiting the champion, Desmond Mokgobu, the man Walefata. Well, it is great being out here. He is coming into the house. He is in a commanding lead. Well, he's not going to be tamed. He's not going to be withheld by the likes of Elroy Galant. They have destroyed the rest of the field. They have absolutely minced them up, as we are just awaiting a lovely finish. Well, here at the end, I believe he's just gonna enjoy his final strides as he comes into the house and to the home straight.
We'll enjoy the moment, and there he comes as they pull it across the finish line. It's the final ribbon, the tape that the champion will break. The champion at this stage looks to be Desmond Mokgobu. Munawala Fasa bested Elroy Galant, the third half marathon victory in 2022 your champion of the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality, Desmond Mogobu, does it.
Well, there comes the runners-up in Elroy Geland. And Ian Sillinger Geland just giving Sillinger that a bit of a raise and a bonus there, as they really worked hard out there together, taking him through the strides. It's wonderful to see the junior guys also coming through in the middle and long distances, as we see here at the Motsepe Foundation. What a wonderful concept brought together by the Motsepe Foundation.
Really wonderful work, and all of this is about racing to equality. This is a symbolic race. It'll take over 100 years at this current rate for gender equality to be achieved. And so we are saying that we must race to equality, and that's exactly what's happening here. 21,000 rand for the men, 21,000 rand for the women, and it means also a clean sweep for the Zoo Lake group of Hendrik Ramala in the men's races, as Desmond Mogobu wins the 21 and Maxime Chamonton wins the 10. What a wonderful arsenal of performers here in the 10K. We've seen Kabelo Siboko, we've seen Nicholas Siposengwe, we've seen Pilani Butelezi all running the 10K and doing very well as they performed here in the 10 kilometers. But this is the 21 kilometer we're watching now as the top 3 finishers.
Well, there are your podium finishes. There is the creme de la creme here at the Race to Equality 2022, 21 kilometers. And it was an entertaining race with about 7 kilometers out. It was still pretty much anyone's race, but young and old coming here in the likes of Thembi Samar. Look at the man just rubbing the head there, showing them, well, this is how we beast the guys in the 21 kilometers. Yet again, another gold medal position for Desmond Mogobu at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality.
Lovely to see our colleagues down there at the finish as well. Reggie Hafke, a man who's known very well to those who followed the classic shootouts, those who followed track and field in South Africa, and he'll soon be bringing us some interviews with some of the victors as Mogobu does the obligatory post-race interviews here on the finish line, talking to some of the local media. But we still have some of the finishers here running the Motsepe Foundation, a Race to Equality. These are the finishers in the 10 kilometer in the main. We're still waiting for the rest of the half marathon finishers. The top 3 being Desmond Mogobu, Elroy Geland, Ian Slinger, or the other way, because Elroy and Ian basically crossed the finish line together, with the older statesman in Elroy saying, youngster, you take the number 2 today.
Oh, that's a great one.
Dan deel ons dit allemaal.
Well, that's incredible to see that it's not. Julle moet my nie ook vergeet, you will never forget the senior statement.
And everyone wants a piece of the 21,000.
Well, up for grabs, 21 big ones goes in the way of Desmond Mogobu as we wait the first female runner in the 21 kilometer race. It's going to be incredible. Lovely to watch, lovely to be out here. It is what a day with some of the athletes coming out, a family day, a race to equality. Yes, indeed. Today we can see that the equality, the love, the family togetherness is surely happening here at the Motsepe Foundation.
Correct. You've also spotted the Galmer sisters, Christine, an Olympian in 2016, just having completed the 10 kilometers, and her sister Renee running the half marathon. Of course, her sister Renee, a 2-time Olympian in 2008 in Beijing and in 2012 in London. And they are both here to support the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Equality. Now then, let's go down to the finish line where our colleague Reggie Hafke is talking to Elroy Geland.
Yeah, obviously this is my first official race after Olympics, you know. I've got about 8 weeks of good foundation-based training in my legs, about 180 kilometers per week. So for me, it was just to see where I'm currently with my training. You know, there's big things ahead this year, World Championships in Oregon in the US. So this was really for me just a fitness test to see where I am. Obviously, it's a tough race, you know, with the hills and that. So I couldn't actually test my speed, but I mean with the strength, it's quite there. My teammate Ian, I just told him, let's keep it easy, let's keep it easy. And as we kept it easy, the guys actually came back to us, you know. It just shows in terms of the strength that we actually have, you know, yeah.
So, where did you decide, okay, we want to break up this race?
To be honest, I think it was around about, say, 13 kilometers, you know, when we went up Constitutional Hill. It's quite a big hill, you know, a tough hill. So I think there's where we pulled away. I think we were about 5 guys that pulled away. And here by 17 kilometers, Desmond broke away. But for us, it was really, I told Ian, just hold back, don't chase, you know. It's not about anything about winning this race. It's really about fitness, you know.
Look, after 2-3 years of almost not racing, yeah, the Motsepe Foundation comes back and gives this opportunity. Anything you have to say about
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor for us, you know, to actually run at the Motsepe Foundation, you know, and I'm actually blessed, or we blessed as athletes for these kind of people to actually put back into athletics, you know. So this is a real good stepping stone for us as athletes, you know, to keep athletics alive after this 2 years of the pandemic. No, thanks. Thank you.
On a valiant performance, coming second in the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 21 kilometer, bested on this occasion by Desmond Mokhobu. Also coming into the finish now is Johannes Kekana, former African marathon champion.
It seemed like you were cruising out there today. The intention from the start of the race, what was it?
Not really intentions, just coming to run a race, just feel how the body feels after all the hard work been put in so far. And I must say I'm quite happy with the performance, because obviously we haven't done any real work yet, so it's just picking up the mileage, and that's it for now. So we're not in a rush to run fast times as of yet. As you know, the season is still very long, and we only want to peak at SA, so we're making sure we peak at the right time.
So you're looking at peaking next month, basically in April, and then ahead, what's the plans for the rest of the year?
I'm thinking of maybe running a few Grand Prix, but we'll see how it goes, because obviously with the schedule it's tight with work and all of that also in between. And definitely looking forward to the SA21, SA10 in Durban. So those are the major races that I want to compete in and actually do well there.
The prize purse that you'll be walking away today, courtesy of the Motsepe Foundation. Are you happy about that?
Well, that's a lot of money that they're giving up, so I'm quite happy with the amount I'll be getting today. And yeah, I think it's really good for the sport as well. Obviously, there are guys that only run for a living, so I think this is a good step in the right direction.
Thank you so much.
From the Potch Track Club, as we greet other runners from the Potch Track Club. And that's why there was a slight break there, because walking past us is SA 3000 meter record holder Jerry Matsau, who was running here, running the 10 kilometer, and he's just having finished his race there. So well done to Ian Slinger for coming in second there behind Desmond Mokhobu, and Elroy Galant coming in third, but they basically crossed the finish line together. Desmond Mokhobu having won the Motsepe Foundation's Race to Equality. A festive atmosphere now begins to take hold here, as families, the social runners, some in fancy dress. I see a couple of tutus and Mickey Mouse ears and do-rags and you name it, as the social runners now come over the finish line and really celebrate this message that we must close the gender equality gap. Also competing today was Lucky Mohale in the men's 21 kilometer. He was in the lead bunch, but fell away as they went through that big hill up in Parktown. He's just come over the finish line not too long ago. And then we are still, hopefully you will see the women's victor in the 21 kilometer coming across the line soon, as she also looks to pocket the 21,000 rand that Desmond Mokhobu did. In the 10 kilometers, well, the men's victor was Maxime Chomoton, a training partner of Desmond Mokhobu out at Zoo Lake, trained by Hendrik Ramala. And he bested the likes of Spusiso Nzima, of Gladwin Mzazi, and of Nicholas Seposengwe. He beat those men to win the 10 kilometers. As we watch Neheng Khatala win the women's race here at the race to equality. She is our female champion. So just like Mokhobu won the PMC Family Road Race 21 kilometers 2 weeks ago, and does the same thing here in Johannesburg to win another 21,000 Rand.
Well, a glorious day here at Marks Park in Johannesburg. A beautiful weather forecast earlier on, overcast, but it never held back on performances. It never held back on top runners coming out and once again making a statement, showing their faces on, well, this time around on the race to equality, where we are doing a lot of work on the foundation, Motsepe Foundation, based on the gender equality and equality for all, giving everyone an equal opportunity to become the very best that they can be. It is the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 2022. Wow. Festive celebrations is now upon us, as we see right here and behind us, everyone in their respective colors. I couldn't spot the milky cows today.
Oh yes, the cow suits are always there, but doesn't seem to be one here today. We saw a bee suit though, a man wearing some bee socks and the bee antennae.
Come to the beehive.
Come to the beehive, correct. As we watch Elroy Galant walk away. And a fabulous performance there from the young man. And I like his sunglasses, Ian Slinger. He's wearing the Ray-Bans, what you call them? The Make Me Nice Mazaza.
Mazazisto.
Not the typical running sunglasses, which are a slightly more oval shape. He's wearing rather more fashion sunglasses, which he wore throughout the race. And a good performance from a man who's a 29:02 runner at his best over 10 kilometers. He was not expected perhaps to last over the half marathon distance, and showed that he had the strength and showed that he benefited from training with Elroy Galant, as the two of them tried to chase down Desmond Mokhobu. Could not do so, but he came in second as Mokhobu went on to win the race. Festive atmosphere, as you mentioned, here at Tao, and good to see people enjoying the outdoors. This event, of course, backed by the city of Johannesburg, who have said that they are behind hosting safe events as we try and get mass participation events like road running, I beg your pardon, back on. So good to see the city of Joburg backing this Motsepe Foundation race to equality.
Well, surely after this, with this Cabo Yellow at the Motsepe Foundation, lots of the teas are being handed out there, and raising awareness. The streets surely is going to be colored in yellow to mark the symbolic race to equality.
And lots of the top runners have come out here today in the men's 10 kilometer that we were telling you about, won by Maxime Chomoton. The top five included former SA 5,000 meter champion Gladwin Mzazi, a two-time 5,000 meter champion. We also had Sibusiso Nzima there. We also had the likes of good veterans, Jonas Machele, who ran under the 50 kilometer world record last year. He was here and he came in as the first vet. David Manja coming in the top four there of the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality, a man who has been racing in 2022.
Yeah. Coming out here to Johannesburg, and you know the competition is tough because the athletes are good as well. Are you all the way from the coast?
Yeah, I am from Lesotho. I knew there would be the professional athlete here. But I was prepared to run with them. Yeah, I was prepared to work together with them. Yeah.
So how did
together all the way, and the half was tough, but I tried to pick up the second half. But I knew it wouldn't make a huge difference because the first half was tough. But I tried to push myself for the last 10K.
The last 10K. So that is when you decided to go. Was it tough or was it easy for you?
It was a little bit better. Yeah.
So in terms of preparation, looking ahead for the year, do you think you're ready or not?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
All of the best.
Thank you so much.
Fine form at the moment. Congratulations to the women's winner at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 21 kilometer, and she has now won 21 kilometers in the space of 2 weeks, showing that she is the dominant force in the country over the half marathon distance. The lady from Lesotho.
She also took the 12 kilometer last year, the Cape Town 12.
She came in second at the Cape Town 12 as part of the ASA Run Your series, and then she also came in second at the Durban leg of the ASA Run Your City series, coming second behind Taylor Kavanagh. So she's making her mark in the last 6 to 9 months and underlining her good form, coached of course by Andrew Boyens, who works with Taylor Kavanagh as you watch some people sprinting over the finish line, and also works now more recently with Gerda Steyn.
Well, the celebrations all around here at the Race to Equality is absolutely upon us. It is an incredible atmosphere. Well, lovely being out here. All the athletes, all the runners enjoying every stride as they go. And like that lady was going over that line, it's like, done.
Diving over the finish line like someone diving for a medal as they fight out those last few medals on the finish line. Lovely to see the enthusiasm as people here enjoy the great weather. One of the more famous runners from this area, the gentleman from the Rand Athletics Club, RAC, always known to be training for comrades here, as we see more and more runners dashing across the finish. We've also got the wife of the new world record holder who's just finished, Zinhle Mokoka, of course, the wife of Stephen Mokoka. She's running in the colors of Hollywood Bets. And also, importantly, in terms of genetics, the daughter of the legendary Zdulele Singhe, a 61 minutes performer over half marathon way back in the 1980s.
Well, lots of action going down here as we entered. Look at the guys.
It feels to be racing again, and in South Africa, you're all the way from Kenya.
It feels good, and I may say that I am humbled for the grace that God has given me so far. I have seen God. I have never participated again ever in my life at South Africa, but being my second time here, I may say that it has taken God's hand to make it today, because I have done a race last week which was very exhausting, so I never knew that I would make it to today. So it's God's grace. Yeah.
Second place in the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 21K. When did you decide, okay, I want to be in the top 3 of this race, while you were running with the other ladies in the race?
I may say that you never know you are going to win, but the effort you put towards the success makes the difference. Yeah.
Anything you have to say to especially the ladies in South Africa, because the Motsepe Foundation is, of course, all about equality, and gender equality is one of them.
I may tell them that what men can do, women can do better. So they wake up, they make efforts to want their success, and what do I say? Let them keep training, and one day they go shine. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and all of the best.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Shelmith Miruki of Kenya, finishing inside the top 3 there in the ladies 21 kilometer for the 2022 Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality, showing how hardy she is. And that second place victory, that coming in the top 3, combined with her second place at last week's Nedbank Runified Breaking Barriers 50 kilometer, means that in the space of a week she's earned a nice good over 60,000 rand in racing in South Africa in just over a week. So a good return for 8 days in South Africa racing, running in the colors of the Nedbank Running Club. Congratulations, Shelmith Miriki. Hope to see her in South Africa again soon.
Well, incredible loaded prize purse here at the Motsepe Foundation, and well, as loaded as it can be, I believe that it doesn't even get close to all the effort, all the tireless, sleepless, continuous, relentless work, and making sure that they are at top peak and top competing condition, and is the gents and the ladies at the Motsepe Foundation. So once again, just a big shout out to the Motsepe Foundation for making this prize purse, just to give these athletes not only an accolade of having that crown of being the winner or the champion, but also that prize purse that goes along with it.
Also seeing some of the top age group category performers coming over the line. In the women's 21 kilometer was Renee Kalmer, who's just completed here her 21 kilometer, her sister Christine having run the 10. Renee now over 40 and has been running as long as we can remember. Ran with Ilana Meyer back in the early 90s, mid 90s, when she was just starting out as a teenager in the Spa Women's Grand Prix. So she has enjoyed wonderful longevity in road running, and beautiful to see that, especially in some of our women who continue to run well as they get older. Of course, Shane Bosman, who is now turning 46, also out here running the 21 kilometer, and she sets an age group world best for 10 kilometers when she ran under 35 minutes for 10 kilometers last September. So some good performers, and some of those age group runners now coming in here.
Well, the Motsepe Foundation also giving a platform to lots of the clubs. I see some of the Vitality club members and the incredible Fat Cats here in Johannesburg. Well, it's always exciting seeing them at the various road running events in the circles of Athletics South Africa, as we have been bringing you all the action down here at Marks Park in Johannesburg. It's the 2022 Race to Equality Motsepe Foundation powering this one, and together with the city of Johannesburg, as well as the Central Athletics Gauteng. It is a wonderful day here. Started off overcast, and seeing families, friends, kids, everyone coming out here and having an absolute blast here during the festivity at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. Talking about equality, how nice is it being out here?
Really is fabulous, and when we talk about equality, we talk also about quality of opportunity. So wonderful to see runners coming in from far and wide, a group of about 6 or 7 promising young talents being brought all the way from Mkhuzi, Middleburg, the Nkangala Athletic Club. It is the project, the brainchild. It is a project which has been run by the heart and soul of Coach Emmanuel Shepa Mabaso, and he's brought some of his youngsters out here to test themselves against some of the very top runners in the country. I see those youngsters running the 10K will know what it takes now to run against Maxime Chamaton and others. Not an easy task, but he's doing a good job of developing these youngsters, and some have even ended up in the US. Ramala's athletes also winning the 10 kilometers, and in the ladies it was the athlete coached by Andrew Boyens in Khatala winning the women's 21 kilometer race.
Talking about Chamaton, well, exciting youngster. Well, he's been, I only thought that he would be one of the track and field athletes that will Rain is back 2 years ago, still raw, young, fresh, up and coming, and now he seems to have settled down, and he is taking it race by race. But that boy just runs hard, flat box, and he comes out for a fight. He packs his bag for a fight.
He packs his bag for a fight. He certainly did today. And don't worry too much about the time because the course is quite hilly, but eventually winning that 10 kilometer quite comfortably. You say he packs his bag for a fight.
Yep,
he went out to Kenya and won the university cross-country title. And there, it's only for university students. Of course, he was there representing the University of Johannesburg. What was heard, because in Kenya, thousands, throngs will come and watch a cross-country race. They came and then they saw this guy winning, white guy with flowing hair, and apparently what was shouted there as he began to increase his lead was Mzungu! Mzungu!
Oh, Mzungu.
And before they had been shouting for their Kenyans, but once he started leading, they started shouting for him. As we see some more of the performers there, Matthew Zelieto coming from Klerksdorp, Munna wa Coach Bio coming in number 5 in the 10 kilometer race there, all the way from Klerksdorp, as we celebrate a wonderful day here at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality.
Lots of fun as we see some of the friends and families. Kitty's been interviewed here at the Race to Equality, and well, surely the job well done here at the Race to Equality, and as the foundation is starting to give everyone equal opportunities and giving us a lot of energy, fire and flight in the road running spaces. Welcome to the 2022 installment of the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality in Johannesburg.
So the main race having been won in the 21 kilometer and the 10 kilometer. 5 kilometer participants also here to walk and run. Let's give you the numbers. In the 21 kilometer, over 700 participants and 600 in the 10. Let's cross down to the finish line. Reggie Hafke is talking to the winner, Desmond Mohobu, of the men's 21 kilometer race.
Is that when you decided, okay, this race is mine for the taking?
From the start, I know I'm going to win this race because it's my home champion, you know. So I'm always training here. So my race, my training was okay.
Look, this race is all about equality, gender equality. But was the road equal to you? How was the course out there?
Yeah, the course was tough, because I checked from the start. Because I was still talking to my coach. I say this race for maybe from 10k until 12k, from 10k until from 15k was tough for us. So I'm saying this race, you need more training, and then we're preparing for other race.
Look, the Motsepe Foundation is all about equality, and especially gender equality that they're pushing out now. How is it for you to see so many, especially women, coming out here and racing?
I think for this race, for Motsepe race, for gender equality, I say, or for basadi ba batle mo ke thabela go le phoso batle mo or batlo matalo, at least for o emela basadi ba bangwe ba ile re batle mo ke thabile go le for this race or EDH.
For the young athletes, would you encourage them to come out and join us next year so that we can stand together more?
I'm saying for young kids, ba ile ba interested more about racing, and then ba tlo kgona compete sharp, and then the other race ke le sa tlo tswela from cross country for track and field. I'm saying gore aba tswele pele ba matha, and then ke ba tlo fa di opportunity sharp tse ile reng for health, evenly anything ba ile re banya go any sports se ile re ba interested go sona mo ile re ba tlo kgona go matha sharp.
Desmond Mohobu, thank you so much.
I thank you for everyone, for my training partner, even my coach, everyone who come here, and thank you for Motsepe for this race, or at least for our honor this race. Remember, for these 2 years, really kara lockdown because of the corona, and repala ko matha race. I'm saying we South Africa really about this race even the race to tlankope. Thank you. coming.
A wonderful day out in Johannesburg here, enjoying the sunshine at Marks Park. Our families, our runners who came out and heeded Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe's call to race to equality. At the current rate, it'll take over 100 years for the gender gap to be closed, and so we cannot afford to sit or walk nor run. We must race to equality, and that is the call made by one of the largest philanthropic organizations on the continent, the Motsepe Foundation. It is for that reason that they put out 21,000 rand for the winning man and an equal amount of prize money for the winning woman in the half marathon. The half marathon, 21 kilometer, won by Desmond Mokhobu, was just on camera. He's running in the colors of Ntsiga, and in the women's race, that's won by Neheng Khatala Sukwadi of Lesotho, coming in there to win the women's half marathon. For now, we're enjoying the pleasant weather, the lekker vibe in Aligiers.
Yes, and the spirit of Ubuntu, as it is one of the core values of the Motsepe Foundation here at the Race to Equality. What a day. Equal. 50-50. 21 big ones for the senior men, or the women's race. 21 big ones for the men's finishers, first finishers here at the Motsepe Foundation. So the chaos and the vibe, the atmosphere, the togetherness is all around us. The music is absolutely pumping. Well, isn't Yamangenkani in the house of Kabuyelo?
Yeah, that's the Ezimnyamangenkani of the road. Of course, many runners coming out from the Pirates
Club, yeah.
Athletics Club, yeah. And that's just, maybe 5 kilometers from here is the Pirates Club. So these are sister clubs, many of them in this area. You have the Rockies, the Pirates, and Wanderers.
I love the Fat Cats.
And the Fat Cats who go everywhere. I mean, you go to Cape Town, Bakona. You go to Race in Bloemfontein, Bate. So it's good to see all of these clubs supporting such a great race.
Well, running is absolutely alive in South Africa.
Yeah,
It is alive, it is kicking, it is fresh, and everyone has since, well, I can think, like you see the top runners being hungry for quality races and competition, everyone is hungry to just get out and run again.
Correct.
How did that make you feel though?
Quite excited, I have to say, especially when I saw these athletes from Lesotho, from Kenya. So then I knew it's not going to be easy. I never expected it to be easy, but it's always nice to see our local races attracting people across the land and across the country. So I was quite excited just to see also where they are in their fitness levels and their strong points, weaknesses, so that I have something to work on.
Time-wise on the scores, are you happy?
1 minute slower than I was hoping for, but I had a last 2 hard training session. Last 2 weeks was quite hard as I'm building up to 2 oceans. So overall, I'm quite happy, especially with all the yields that we got the first half.
The Motsepe Foundation lies a lot of emphasis on gender equality. For you, knowing and seeing so many women coming out here today, talk to me about how that makes you feel.
Like I said, quite excited. I'm all for gender equality, especially I am a sports scientist, so I just know the physiology differences between men and female, and you can't compare men with female or female with men. There's no way we will be able to compete at their level, so I'm really glad that we are seen now as equal for these races.
Thank you so much, all of the best.
Thank you so much, enjoy your day.
Well, just a quick wrap-up of the top 10 gentlemen that have finished here at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. In position number 10, we've got Lucky Mutale, the man from Boxer, who ran a 1 hour 11 minutes 20 seconds. In position 9.
We've got Tamsang Agongo. He's from Pantane Athletics Club, coming all the way from KZN. He's coming in 9th place in just about 70 minutes, 1:10:26. Above him, we have Onalena William Konkobe. Oh, Konkobe is the net banker, running club man who did so well, and we saw him in the lead bunch earlier on. In 7th, Give More. Give More is the ASICS front runner. Mudzinganyama is a 214, I beg your pardon, marathon performer. 214 marathon performer at the Cape Town Marathon last year, so he did very, very well there.
And in 6th, we've got Simon Sibeko, the man representing Boxer Athletics Club, with a 1 hour 8 minutes 25, averaging about 3 minutes 15 per kilometer.
Not
too bad.
Not too bad at all. The man that we saw in the lead bunch and we thought might threaten the victory, that's 21,000. He comes in 5th, Lebenyankoka of Max Delete.
Well, in number 4, one that was one of the up-and-coming youngsters in the colours of Marian Roberts, the man that also hailed from the likes of the Potchefstroomers, is David Manja. Well, he had a fantastic crack and it stuck with the guys for the longer period of time throughout the race.
Correct, and produced there by Mpulukeng Pio, Coach Pio, out in the northwest. Of course, we've been through the top 3. Elroy Galant of Boxer, 106.17, and in 2nd, 106.16 from the man Ian Slinger, who says he's feeling good and he believes that he can probably end up running somewhere close to 62 or 61 minutes sometime this year.
Surely, to me, he is a surprise package for him to even feature in the top 5. I never saw him there, but he just kept on powering Elroy Galant as they went together as training partners. The winner, champion?
The winner and the champion is, of course, Desmond Mokhobu of Nsiga Athletic Club, and it makes it his 3rd half marathon victory of 2022 after winning the Discam half marathon, the PMC Family Road Race half marathon. He has won today's Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality 21K. In the ladies' race, we'll just give you those results quickly. Neheng Khatala of Lesotho came in first with Shelmith Muriuk of Nedbank. She comes from Kenya. She comes in 2nd in 1:17, and then that's an idea of the men's results there that we've just been through. So good to see some of the names that we mentioned and some of South Africa's most seasoned performers running there. Lebenyankoka in 5th. He turns 40 this year, 39 years old. So a good performance from one of the elder gentlemen on that finishers list.
Donker. So moving over to the women's race, just to get that finishers list. Yeah, the women's end is off.
So we'll be down to Reggie Hafke, who will be talking to some more of the finishers, after which we'll be back with the results from the women's race. But good to see some social runners out here enjoying the day. And Reggie has more.
Let me just say, I actually came here because I lost my mom 10 days ago. So I'm running in honor of her. 10 days of running 10 days, 10 kilometers. She passed away 10 days ago, so it's in honor of my mom. She died of cancer 10 days ago.
Yo, my condolences.
Thank you so much. It was fun. I really enjoyed the day.
Why did you come out, ma'am?
Well, after being locked down for almost 2 years, not being able to do this, I used to enjoy doing this so much before COVID hit us, and I just felt like, why not come out? It's time to really take care of our mental health and really just combine that with the physical well-being. So I really just wanted to celebrate just being here after everyone has been through so much So it's a way of just celebrating life. Life is beautiful.
Look at this, what the Motsepe Foundation is doing. They're bringing especially so many men and women together, and they're giving us a race like this. Any comment on that?
It's actually fun, you know, being here, meeting new people. It was actually fun. We really enjoyed it. It was fun.
I think it's a very good concept, really, to just bring everyone together and really just try and show everyone that we all should be participating and be including now in these community activities. So I really did like the concept, and what a great way to celebrate inclusivity.
To anyone who doesn't believe in equality, what do you have to say to them? That's the last question.
Everyone who does not believe in equality, well, they just have to come to the Motsepe Foundation and learn more about equality.
No, it's a universal law. Inclusiveness is the way to go. There's just so many things that are happening in the world that are happening because people don't feel like others should be included. Other people should be marginalized. We have to change. We have to change our thinking. So Motsepe Foundation, well done for bringing such an initiative together.
Well done to you as well, ladies. Thank you so much.
Masive Munye, as we go into the women's finishing positions, there in position 10. Do you want to run us through there as Jessica Maitland Stewart there in the running club Run Zone?
Yeah, running for Run Zone, of course, one of the better performers there at Run Zone. Run Zone is a club with legions of social runners, and one or two, shall I say, knocking on the door of elite performance, and a good 10th position for Jessica Maitland Stewart there, coming in behind Catherine van Meter, another one who's come up from KZN to run in the colors of Pantane, the club which was founded by Mdu Kumalo. She dips in under 90 minutes.
Well, Sinead Yver goes there in the 8th position, woman 40. Wow, incredible. 40 years of age.
Yeah, doing a fabulous position in 40th, and look at how many 40-year-old women we have right the way
top
from
10.
Yeah,
right there at the thick of things, and also cruising at 4.5, 4.8. Wow.
Yeah, it really is. Renee Kalmer doing well as well. She runs in number 7. Of course, an Olympian, a multiple SA champion, and someone who's done it all, even won the Soweto Marathon. Above her, someone who has also won the Soweto Marathon, but in those days she was Shane Rademeyer before she married Karel Bosman and became Shane Bosman, and she continues to do well because she's even older than 45. She's 46, Shane. So a good 6th place there.
Lots of good things happening there at Marion Roberts, as we see in position 5. Janin Anderson going to 1 hour 25 minutes and some change there.
Yeah, some change there. A good run from her again in the colors of Marion Roberts. Max Elite, of course, Basotho. A lot of Lesotho runners coming in the colors of Max Elite. Mtakanelitiye. Wananali Tabing coming in 4th place. They're just missing out on the podium. She runs just over 82 minutes.
Well, in 3rd, also in the colors of Marion Roberts. Well, still a youngster. She's a lecturer there from the Northwest University. Is Adele Broodrijk, her husband, former rugby mate of mine. It's good to see her after giving birth, being back in action.
Yeah, and a lot of women will say after giving birth sometimes come back stronger. I remember that was the case with Yvette van Zyl when she won the Soweto Marathon not too long after giving birth. In 2nd was the lady from Kenya who last Sunday, just 6 days ago, came 2nd in a 50-kilometer race in 3 hours and 8 minutes in the Nedbank Runified, breaking barriers 50-kilometer. This time around, Shamwith Mirwik is 2nd as she comes in for more prize money here at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality.
And the winner of the 21 big ones, Nehen Katala, All the way from Lesotho, well-deserved, well-powered in the women's encounter. Going well, it was fairly close between the two of them in first and second. 1 hour 16, 1 hour 17 in the 21 kilometer. While we'll be bringing you some of the action or the results from the 10 kilometers as we see all the runners coming in to the house, all the fun runners having joy, happiness and togetherness.
Asibe happy.
Sibe Munye at the Motsepe Foundation. Run.
Race to equality, 21 kilometer.
Wow.
Also good to see lots of young people as well. The kiddies coming out here to do 5 and 10 kilometer. I'm not sure if it's the parents that drag the kids or the other way around. Someone has to drag someone else out of bed.
Hey, Baba. Some of the kids just say, come. Papa, let's go. You've entered. They're so excited with running. I know with my own little one, speaking about cross country nowadays. It's like, Papa, cross country, come. So he's enjoying the run. I always say to him, listen, I'm older than you, I'm stronger than you, I will run longer than you. But sometimes the young ones do tend to come in.
They've got that youthful energy, and it's good to see more and more young ones coming in, running, and enjoying the sport of athletics. We'll give you some results from the 10 kilometer. Let's just highlight one or two of those before we bring them up from you. And that one was in the ladies' race, because we'll give you the ladies' race and the men's race. There we have it, coming from number 10, as we mentioned, 40-year-old Jonas Machele. He runs just bang on 30 minutes, just a shade outside 30 minutes. This is the man who broke the 50-kilometer world record last year. And he also ran in Nelson Mandela Bay on Sunday. Didn't finish as high up as he would have liked, so perhaps a little bit of a point to prove. Still shows that the old dog has got some speed.
Well, in position 9, Winfred Montero, the man from Zimbabwe, coming into the thick of things. 9th position, just followed finishing behind the man Jason Bowers, the South African schools 5,000 meter, 3,000 meter record holder. Powerful stuff by Jason, young up-and-coming star. He runs together with that young man that is also one of the up-and-coming
Renier, exactly. And they are coached by Johan Brits out Vereniging type way.
Passionate, eh?
And he loves his running, does Johan. He also coaches Peter Mutuvi. So Johan says, a fatale tieni wind.
Fatale fast, man.
So good to see Jason Bowers. They also, of course, also represented South Africa last year at the World Junior Championships, the Under-20 Championships in Nairobi, Kenya, where he ran the 3,000 meters and was a finalist there, even though he didn't finish on the rostrum. In 7th, Samuel Moloi of Ikale to Athletic Club. It's one of the more recent clubs here in Central Gauteng Athletics, about 3 or so years old, and beginning to attract 1 or 2 top runners, supporting talented runners who can't find support, and that's what they do before they can move on to the bigger elite clubs. So a good performance there.
And in 6th, the 2-time South African 10,000 meter champion, Pilani Buthelezi, in the colors of Marion Roberts. Well, he's been having a cracker of a time on the roads as well, eh?
Yeah, he's been running well in 2022, has Pilani. He's also managed to run 14:31 over 5,000 meters this year, and also done 1 or 2 half marathons. So he's a man in good form. Above him, in position 5, is Gering Matthews Leeto. He comes all the way from Klerksdorp. Coming from Klerksdorp with coach Mpolokeng Pio. He was a pacemaker last week, Sunday, at the Nedbank Runified 50 kilometer.
And in 4, Kabelo Siboko, the man running in the colors of Boxer. This is where it was getting intense. You can see the pace that these guys were running per kilometer. 10 kilometers, fast feet. They know it's short, it's quick, and it's in and out of there is Seboko, and above him there in position 4 is Nkasi Namakwe from Lesotho.
Yes,
Mojahape.
Monalo so to severite. Oberekile ka nnete. And Nkasi, of course, you remember having won the Two Oceans Half Marathon, is also a medalist at the African Championships over 10,000 meters. The bronze, the day that Mukoka won gold in Durban in 2016, and has represented the Mountain Kingdom at the Olympic Games as well. So this is a man of some class there, out sprinting Kabelo Seboko, who's just come back from injury. Coming in third there, and above him, Busiso Nzima, he takes the second position there. The Olympian, the old dog, a former SA 10-kilometer champion on the road, and having represented South Africa over the marathon distance at the Olympic Games. A good performance from him, who outsprints Nkasi and Seboko, coming in second. Today's winner,
champion, and taking the prize purse there in the 10 kilometers. Well, the track, fantastic young up-and-coming star, Maxim Shomatar. Well, fantastic there in the colors of the University of Johannesburg with a 28.29. Well, showing them a clean pair of heels. Well, up 3 or 4 strides from the guy in second.
So some good running that we got here out at Marks Park this morning as we celebrated the opportunity to be together, to spread the message of gender equality, knowing that we cannot afford to sit, we cannot even afford to run, we must race to equality. And thanks to the message being spread by the Motsepe Foundation, one of the biggest philanthropic organizations on the African continent, we got to share this message with you this morning.
Well, spreading the love, spreading the hope message of togetherness and equality. Equal opportunities, equal chances to run, to have fun, to enjoy, and equal prize money for both men and women. 21,000 rand.
21 tawa, as they call it, go Pitori, 21 tawa. Banna Pitori, 21 tawa. So that's the amount that was on stake, and that's amount taken there by Desmond Muhubu and Neheng Khatala. We are enjoying ourselves here. Agumnandi la Max Park. Unga Putelwa, make sure that you get back into the scene of running. If you have been dormant for the last 2 years, make sure that you get back into running as we look at the top female performers in the 10 kilometers.
Well, in 10, coming in 10 from ASA Athletics South North, Catherine Skosano. Oh, Catherine is daunting with fate. She was running yesterday at the championships in Athletics Gauteng North.
And she also ran the PMC Family Road Race out in Palabora. Catherine, after all these years, seems to be enjoying a resurgence of form and clearly not tired.
No, lots. She's still got lots of running in her.
Still got lots of running left to run, just a shade over 40 minutes, which is fairly good over this very hilly course.
Well, in women 50 years young. They're in position 9, Maria Shai from ASA Athletics Club. Well, isn't that just special to see her there, still in the thick of things?
Yeah, really wonderful performance from Maria Shai at over 50, coming in 9th and managing to run just on 40 minutes. A good performance there. Only a couple of seconds behind Christine Kalmer, who also, if I'm not mistaken, had a baby not too long ago. So she is someone who is regaining her fitness. Likes to run out in the Linden area of Johannesburg with her sister Renee. So a good performance, come out, run 40 minutes and start getting herself back in shape.
Well, at 36.46 for the youngster Nicole van der Merwe from UJ. Also powering there. It's lovely to see the youngsters coming in and making their mark already this early in their careers.
Correct. Nicole van der Merwe, of course, just 23 years old with a bright future ahead of her. In 6th, she was one of the very best 800-meter performers that South Africa had to offer in the mid-2000s. One half of the most famous pair of running twins, probably on the continent, Lebohang Palula Letuli, Lebzangwana ba Motsebago. coming from Soweto, coming in 6th place there in 36-40. Not bad, as they say, the Palula twins. Age ain't nothing but a number, having turned 38 in December.
38. And in 5, Nicolene Harakom from Fourways Runners Club. A lovely time there of 36.39. Well, she is also been showing some bit of resilience in the road running as far as 2021-22 season is concerned.
Lebu Palula comes in 4th there. Of course, of the 2 Palula twins, she is the one that represented South Africa at the Olympic Games, ran the marathon in Rio 2016, the first black woman to run a marathon, an Olympic marathon for South Africa. She recently announced her retirement from international racing, saying she will be running local races. Congratulations to her. In 3rd place, Farida Zwane of Rockies. She trains with the Hendrik Ramala Zoo Lake group, and she has been an improving athlete over the last few months.
Absolutely nice seeing her out and about on the race course. And in 2nd, one of the favorites that was expected here in the colors of Excel Runners Club is Retendo Nyahore in 2nd.
Well done to Rutendo Nyahora there. Also another one whose baby is, I think, about 3 months old, so she's starting to find her fitness. The race won by Kakosile Sosibo of Box Athletics Club, coached by Michael Seme. In the end, it was a comfortable victory, winning by over a minute. Well done to Kakosile.
Now throwing over to Reggie Hafke, who's having one of the Miss Mamelodi.
Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, they
North.
ran as well,
Ladies,
and of course they're here to support.
It's all about the Motsepe Foundation here this morning. What does it mean for Miss Mamelodi Sundowns?
What it means for Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, the reason that we're here is to support the race. The aim of the race is running to equality. So we're striving for equality in our country, all over the world, especially in soccer. I feel like we should involve more women for football. We should give them the opportunity and make sure that the salary is equal. Yeah.
I think just to add on to that, we saw this year the ladies team, Sundowns ladies team, won the CAF Women's Champions League, and that just shows that we just need women to be given platforms. We're not saying make the work easier or lighter. We're just saying give us the same platforms, that men are given, or we'll do the most with those platforms. So yeah, that's essentially what this means for us today and us being here.
That's amazing. I know you came a bit late, but how was the race for you though? What race did you tackle?
The race was really awesome. We ran for the first, the starting, and then at the end we were really tired, so we just walked. But it was really amazing. The spirit. Everyone was kind to each other. Everyone was pushing each other. It was a spirit of Ubuntu. Being gathered together here. It's really amazing. It was really awesome.
Look, the Motsepe Foundation is all about gender equality, seeing women, especially in positions, but all over the place. But what do you stand for? I know models has to stand for something. What do you stand for? What's in your heart?
For me, empowerment is everything. I come from a township where I'm not exposed to resources. So giving someone resources, information. So my aim really is to bridge the gap between potential and the resources that you and your talents and the things that you have and where you come from. So that's essentially what for me this platform means. It's just empowerment from all aspects. You are a woman, you want to get into certain industries. Let's open the doors for you, and not only just invite you to a seat. Let's open up the whole table for the women as well. Yeah.
I stand for equality. I'm a former soccer player, so I know how it feels for women to be left out in the sport. So hence I want to see more women in the soccer field. I want to see more captains. I want to see more CAF champions. I want to see us South African women winning the World Cup. So I really want women to be involved in the sport because it's a great sport. It brings people together. I feel like sports really unites people, so that's what I really want to do, to invite more women to the sport, and hence I stand for equality.
Lastly, in one line, inspire our boys and girls.
Sorry?
In one line, inspire our boys and girls. Say something inspiring.
Strive for your dreams. Your background does not matter. I'm from the Eastern Cape, and it's one of the impoverished provinces in the country. So strive for your goals. Be relentless. Don't be scared. Just push. No matter what, just don't give up. Giving up is not an option. Failure is not an option, because anyone can win as long as you put your mind to it, and you will conquer.
Sure. I think I'd just like to close up with the quote that says that our deepest tragedy in life does not lie in not reaching our goals, but it lies in having no goals to reach. So that's always strive to have goals to reach, but also when you're in a position to empower someone, lift someone, that's where it starts with you. So it's not even up to me as Miss Mamelodi Sundowns, Gauteng North, or you. It's all about, what can you do? The girl next door, how can you help the girl next door? And it becomes a ripple effect when we empower everyone, and the whole nation will be empowered in the end of the day. So it starts with you.
Ladies, thank you and all of the best. Thank you so much.
Well, great to see some of the Miss Mamelodi Sundowns beauty queens out here to support the Motsepe Foundation as they spread the message of gender equality and the need to close that gap. So good to see that they're all out here, as are some of the Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies Football Club. They're also out here. They're also on the course. Not too long after winning the CAF Champions League, the Women's CAF Champions League, they are out here to support what has been a noteworthy course. Some great ambassadors for this program as well. We've seen Lebu and Lebohang Palula. We've seen Renee Kalmer as well, and those are just some of the ambassadors who have been sharing the message throughout the running community of what we can do to spread the message. Of course, athletics and running being one of the most equal sports when it comes to gender equality for a very, very long time. And we'll share a little bit more of that with you as we go back. In history of athletics. You'll know that this is one of the sports that has been always championing gender equality. So well done to the Motsepe Foundation for pushing this message and making sure that this race to equality happens. The Comrades Marathon, as an example, was already allowing female athletes to run in the Comrades Marathon way back in the mid to early 70s, around 1975. So it shows that for many a year, athletics bosses, athletics administrators have realized that really this is a sport for all, and no better vehicle than this to push the race to equality.
Well, powering equality today is the Motsepe Foundation, as it shuttles the foundation, or rather the equality bus, as we are in the spirit of being together here today. It is absolutely incredible. The vibe, the chias, the enjoyment, and everyone that has come out here surely can speak without any shadow of a doubt about the massive level that has been brought here by the Motsepe Foundation.
The last few half marathon runners struggling across the finish line. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes since the race started. So these few will have been battered by the hills. Still running at about 6 minutes a kilometer as they get over the finish line for the 21.1 kilometer. A good effort over a tough course. Let's head back down to the finish line in a not too long to hear from Athletics South Africa President James Moloi. He's with Reggie Hafke to talk about this great partnership between ASA and the Motsepe Foundation as we race to equality.
Mr. James Moloi, the President of Athletics South Africa. Sir, that collaboration with the Motsepe Foundation, this is the second year running, and look at the turnout. Talk to me about how you're feeling at the moment.
We are feeling very great because we approached Motsepe about other things, but they told us they want the partnership with Athletics South Africa. For that, we are very excited to partner with Motsepe Foundation, because at the end of the day, the people that are going to benefit out of this are the athletes, because the athletes stayed for about 2 years not running. But for this, it shows that Motsepe Foundation is doing something for our athletes, because our athletes are struggling financially. So now for this race, and then it's going to be the annual race going forward. Now, the athletes, they will know very much that they are going to run Motsepe Foundation race, and next year they are going to double the money. The price is going up. So from our side as Athletics South Africa, we're very excited to see at least there are corporate companies or people that are taking care of our athletes.
Are you looking to have a create a bigger future with the Motsepe Foundation to continue that relationship?
That's correct. We spoke to them. They said that it will be the annual race forever. So this race is going to stay forever. It's going to be annual. It's going to be run every year. So every year, Motsepe Foundation, they are going to put more money every year for this race. And then we want to do what we call it the team prizes for the race next year. So we want to promote the team prizes. So it will be very exciting next year. You will see a lot of people that are coming, and it was a short. We organized this race with a short time, but next year we've got the whole year to organize the event. So we are urging other corporate companies to say, please join athletics. Let's join hands. It's for the future of our athletes.
Why the name Race to Equality?
Race to Equality is that they want. We must pay equal money. So maybe long ago people were getting enough money, men were getting more money according to them. They want everybody to get equal money, so that's why they call that name.
Is there a lot of plans awaiting ASA this year? I know about, talk to me about the Grand Prix that's awaiting the track and field athletes, and what can we look forward to from ASA side for the remainder of the year?
Our calendar is chock-a-block. It's very busy calendar. But next week is a Grand Prix. As you know very well that the Grand Prix, those who are going to run, the top athletes that are going to run the Grand Prix, they are going to collect point system. There's no point of them going overseas and going qualify there. So it's a golden opportunity we've got about 5 Grand Prix. If they can run 3 or 4 of those Grand Prix, automatically with the point system, they will qualify for the World Championship in Oregon. So I'm urging all the top athletes to say, this is a golden opportunity, make use of golden opportunity. From our side as Athletics South Africa, we will do our level best. As you know very well that we do have a TV right. SuperSport is going to televise all these events for us. Please do your best. Go and show yourself. This is your talent. This is your future.
Lastly, what do you have to say to the masses road runners?
Masses road runners, road running is open now. Everybody now, you must come back. Athletics is open, so please come in and run now. The races are open because you stayed for a long time not participating. So all of you guys come and join athletics. Athletics is open, Comrade is open, Two Ocean is open. So all the races are open. So Soweto Marathon is open. So please come and join. It's for your own future, and we are promoting healthy lifestyle.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malloy.
Thank you to Athletics South Africa President James Moloi for really what has been a fabulous event. It's the 2022 Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. Thabo Molete, your highlights for the morning.
Well, first of all, just saying thanks to Umongameli, Mr. James Moloi, for this vehicle that they've partnered with the foundation, Motsepe Foundation, in the Race to Equality. Well, what a day! Surely successful equality has been achieved. It was absolutely incredible in that 21-kilometer race when the guys went through their phases, coming down the hills, having a surge, and at the end of the day, it was the man with Impandlani who had too much power, too much strength, and it was the decisive move that faked the water pit going in there, and then from there he just broke them to pieces.
It was a wonderful day of running to watch, not only at the sharp end of the field, but in terms of social runners, we had around about 2,000 people heeding the call to come here, not sit, not walk, not even run, but race to equality, as is called by the Motsepe Foundation. Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, the head of the foundation, says that if we continue at this pace, then it will take over 100 years for us to achieve gender equality. And so thousands heeded the call, came to Marks Park to run, to walk, to race 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and 21 kilometers. In your 10 kilometers, your women's champion was Takosile Sosibo of Boxer. Your men's champion, Maxime Chomoton of the Zoo Lake Group, running for the University of Johannesburg. The women's champion was Neheng Khatala, coming all the way from Lesotho, underlining her excellent form over the last 9 months, coached by Andrew Boyens. But the race that was the race of the Titans, the race that drew Olympians and World Championship athletes, the race that drew SA record holders, was that of Elroy Galant and Desmond Mogobu. Eventually, it was Mogobu who triumphed over Slinger and Galant as he won 21,000 Rand to become the champion of the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality for 2022. With Thabo Molete, we say thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast, and we leave you in the capable hands of Reggie Hafke.
Well, what a lovely morning it has been here at the Motsepe Foundation Race to Equality. I've enjoyed myself, and I really hope you have also enjoyed yourself. Now, of course, the Motsepe Foundation is all about equality and living a healthy lifestyle as well as leadership. Now, it takes leadership to put together an event like this and bring out the masses. Thousands of people came out, as well as the creme de la creme of South Africa's long distance runners. Look at this. That's what they're standing for, and that's what we are pushing for. It is equality. So we want to thank the Motsepe Foundation, Athletics South Africa, for this amazing event. Our Reginald Hafke had an amazing time out here. Remember though to check them out on social media platforms. Check out their websites. That's Athletics South Africa as well as the Motsepe Foundation. And yes, I hope to see you out there on the road. If not out on the road, I hope to see you here next year. And hopefully I won't be on the mic, but I'll join you on the road. Peace and love. Take care.